welcome back to the Speedy Weekly Hoop Recap. My name is Speedy. Let's talk about the NBA this week. I think that's going to be the intro. From now on, that's going to be the intro. You guys heard that. I'm not going to say it again. Let's get on to the video. I have a few things that I want to talk about today, but as you may know, I'm a Raptors fan, so I'm going to just get this out of the way. Let me talk about the Raptors. Scotty Barnes is amazing. They went on a 3-game winning streak this week. They lost on Monday to, I think it was the Bulls? I'm pretty sure it was the Bulls. But then they did win on Wednesday against the Pacers, and they did win on Friday versus the Magic, and the Pacers on Saturday again. So the Raptors are actually doing pretty good. Scotty Barnes is definitely exceeding my expectations. He's been doing amazing. The other rookie that they selected, Delano Banton, also been doing better. I already said he was doing good in the first week, but I think he's been doing even better now in the second week. But yes, Scotty is looking nice. He's right now looking like the second, maybe even the best rookie coming from that class right now. So he might win Rookie of the Year, and it's exciting for me because as a Raptors fan, I've only been a Raptors fan for like 6-7 years. Yeah, about 7 years at this point. And in all that time, the best rookie I think I've seen is probably, I don't even know. We haven't really had any like really good rookies, like guys who came in right from the jump were just balling. Like, we haven't really had that, other than like, I guess kind of DeMar, but not really. Not even DeMar. I don't even know who that would be. But yeah, like Scotty, he's a nice young guy. He's probably gonna be the first bright spot in a while, and I just like what I'm seeing from him. He's averaging like 17-18 points per game. He was dropping 20 and 10 for the past like few days, or past few games. Against the Pacers, he had like 21 points, 12 rebounds. He had like 20 points against the Magic, I think, too. Like, and of course you got Van Vliet doing his thing, OG doing his thing. Everybody's balling, so you know, I'm just happy to see it, honestly. Now, going on to the other topics that happened, all the other stuff that happened this week. Actually, is there much to say about the Raptors? I mean, they're doing good. That's really all I have to say. They started the season 1-3, and now they're 4-3. So now, what I really want to talk about that's not the Raptors. There's a lot of teams that have been appointing and disappointing this year. If you're wondering what I mean by that, I mean a lot of teams have been doing amazing and exceeding expectations, while a lot have disappointed. And it's not even just really teams, it's even players, just players sometimes. Let's start with the teams that are disappointing. For me, it's the Suns. The main teams I would want to talk about would be the Suns, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Nets. I know there are a lot of other teams that have been disappointing for the first few games, but there's not much I have to say with them, except maybe the Celtics. But the Celtics, I really don't have much to say about the Celtics, honestly. So, let me start with the Nets. The Nets, they don't have Kyrie right now. It's just James Harden and KD, and KD has been playing out of his mind, of course, but James Harden has been struggling. And you heard all the memes. You probably heard all the memes when the NBA changed the rules to make foul baiting go away, pretty much. Rules to fight foul baiting. Those rules, when the NBA made those, people were saying, "Oh, James Harden's gonna be averaging like 12 points a game. Trae Young's gonna be doing this. Luka's gonna, like, not Luka, but you know, they're saying James Harden and Trae Young were gonna just do trash after this." But Trae Young's still averaging about 20 and 10. Harden hasn't been doing great. He is averaging 17 points a game, and 17 points a game is really good, but we expect at least 24, 25 points a game from Harden. Especially with Kyrie out, now that there's more space for you to score, like, the team needs you, and you're not coming through. And you might be seeing him complaining a lot more about fouls and trying to get some calls, and he's not getting them, because the NBA changed the rules, and so far I think it's worked. It's made the games a bit more entertaining, and yeah, but I don't know how James Harden's gonna do for the rest of the season. Hopefully he still is, of course he still is James Harden. I just don't know if he's gonna be the James Harden that we all know and love. He's just gonna be a lessened version, pretty much. And the rest of the Nets team is, like, they're not bad. They're not really bad, because Joe Harris is a good shooter. Blake Griffin, Marcus, they're good players. Like, it's not amazing, and sometimes they really need Kyrie. That's what I gotta say. They really need Kyrie. A team that doesn't need their other star player who's sitting out is a team that I'll talk about later. That was a weirdest transition, but yeah, I'll talk about that later. Moving on. Oh wow, those are the actual NBA standings. They actually put up the real NBA standings. That's actually kind of cool. Anyways, moving on. The other teams that are disappointing. I'm gonna try and do these quick because I don't want this video to be too long. The Lakers, LeBron, Westbrook. I mean, some games it works, some games it doesn't. A lot of the time, you can't really have LeBron and Westbrook on the floor at the same time. And I saw a play where LeBron drove in, like he does, kicked it out, and usually he'd be trying to kick it out to a shooter. He kicked it out to Westbrook, and Westbrook isn't a shooter, so Westbrook passed it. And he passed it to a guy who's guarded. And they kept on passing and passing and passing until AD got the ball, and he tried to score, but he missed, and the other team got the ball. So, I don't know how this is gonna work, man. It's gonna be something. Maybe they bench Westbrook. That's one thing I have heard, that they bench Westbrook to get, so Westbrook gets his team, Westbrook gets his rotation where he can control the pace and he can drive in and he can be the main playmaker, and then LeBron gets his time with the starters. Maybe they do something like that, but honestly, I don't know how it's gonna work. Now, is there anything else I really have to talk about? Yes, the Lakers, I don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe they might disappoint a lot of NBA fans who were hoping they'd be like a championship team. Or maybe they'll bounce back later on in the year. Who knows? Moving on, I want to get to the appointing teams soon enough. So let me rush with these. Another team that's disappointing is the Phoenix Suns. Really, all I have to say, Chris Paul is not doing great. That's it. DeAndre Ayton's doing good. Devin Booker's doing good. It's just Chris Paul ain't doing great. Now, that's really all I have to say. The Clippers, that is another team. Paul George is trying his hardest to keep this team in contention, but it is not enough. They need more. Paul George is not carrying their team. Like, he's trying to carry their team, but is not enough. He needs help, because he's dropping like 40 a night, and their team is just losing, and it's kind of sad. But hopefully the other players step up, because I know Kawhi's not going to be back for a while, so hopefully the other players step up, and hopefully they could just continue being a playoff team, because I had them being a playoff team, and I don't want to be wrong, but at the same time, Anyways, now the appointing teams. I know it's not a real word, but I just made it a word. The two teams that are playing right now, the Bulls and the Heat. The Bulls they started out the season 4-0. Then they went to 5. Then they went to 4-1. Then they went to 5-1. Now they're at 5-1 because they beat the Jazz. So it's looking good. The Bulls are looking good. Their defense is good. Offense still, like right now it's mainly just like their offense isn't great yet. I haven't watched many Bulls games, so if I get some stuff wrong, I haven't watched Bulls games. Let me just remind you that. But what can I say really? People expected this Bull team to be good, and they've been better than good. They've been great. They're top of the East, and simple as that. Moving on, the Heat. The Heat. The Heat have been absolutely amazing. The addition of Kyle Lowry really came in the clutch for them. And I've seen some people talk about how his shooting isn't really like that great right now. One, it'll probably come around later in the season. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Kyle Lowry fan. I'm saying that because it probably will. And two, his impact goes beyond shooting. He's not just there to score. He is there to do a lot more than score. So, trust me, Kyle Lowry's presence will be felt while he's on his team. Moving on. Tyler Hero is having a great year. People are saying maybe he might be a most improved player. I could see it. And then there's also Bam having a good year. Jimmy Butler, he's actually been playing amazing. Every time I see him, like, he's dropping 20 or 30 or something. So Jimmy's been having a good year. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Jimmy has a good year. Kyle, although his shooting isn't great, eventually he'll get better. He hasn't been shooting well this year. That's what I mean. And Tyler Hero, most improved ? I don't know, but probably not. I still got my bets on OG. But then again, OG hasn't had a great start to the year, so you never know what's gonna happen. But yeah. Moving on. The other teams, the Wizards are 5-1 somehow, and I have not watched any Wizards games except for the first game of the year, and I don't know how they're 5-1. Oh, there's one last thing I forgot to talk about. The Lakers, they blew a 26-point lead to the Thunder. That's all I need to say. Yeah, they're disappointing. The Warriors doing good, better than I expected. But then again, Steph Curry is Steph Curry, so I mean, what can you say? And the Hornets had an amazing start. They were 4-0, but then they lost their last. Or were they 4-0? They were doing really good, but then they lost their last 2 games to the Heat and a different team. And yeah, I mean, they're still really good. They beat the Nets with KD and Harden, so that's great. Miles Bridges has had a great year so far, and but at the end of the day, LaMelo's the main guy on this team. If Miles Bridges and LaMelo become a duo of the future, I'll take it, honestly. That could be good too. And now we get to the last few teams. The team at the top of the East right now, technically, the Knicks, they're 5-1, and I think the Knicks offseason was really good. Kind of underrated, because Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker were great additions. Like, really what they needed were just more scoring options, and they got that in those two. Those two really help with that, because now those two are really leading them into scoring. Julius Randle's doing everything. RJ's getting better. He's doing good in scoring too, and defense. Mitchell Robinson on defense is doing great. Who else? They're just, it's good. So the Knicks, I think they're gonna have a good year. They might be higher than I expected. Like, the Knicks and the Bulls are two teams that I had in the play-in. They might be higher than the play-in, or did I have them in the play-in? I can't remember, bro. I cannot remember. Anyways, now the last team I want to talk about, Philadelphia 76ers. This is the last team I want to talk about specifically. Philly is, they don't have Ben Simmons yet. And I already talked about the whole Ben Simmons situation multiple times, so I don't really want to talk about it again. But yeah, Ben Simmons is out, and they're still doing decent. They're doing better than I thought they would be doing. They're 4-2 right now, which is, it's not amazing, but it has them tied technically for 5th in the East. And although it is early, I think this team could still be pretty competitive without Ben. They won't be as good as they were last year, of course. They won't be a first seed, but they will be a decent team that maybe could scare a higher seeded team in the first round, like the Heat or the I don't know, the Bucks. Well, not really the Bucks. The Heat, they could scare the Hawks maybe. Speaking of the Hawks, I haven't seen them anywhere. They're the 10 seed right now, huh? Anyways, yeah. That's really all I have to say about the Sixers. Even though they don't have Ben Simmons right now, Embiid's coming in the clutch, and they're winning. So, yeah. Now we have the awards for the week. I don't know if I have most disappointing. I did have most disappointing team. Okay, so I did add a new award for the week. It's gonna be most improved, and it's gonna be like based on how they were going throughout the season, who improved the most in the week. So it's kind of like the player of the week, but not good enough to be the player of the week and was doing bad before. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna of course start with the rookie of the week. I really want to give it to Scotty Barnes, but then again, I don't want to be a biased fan. But then again, he did probably have the best week out of all the rookies. So I'm gonna say it's a tie between Scotty and Evan Mobley. I really would give it to Scotty, but Evan Mobley's been playing well as well, so he had a pretty good game against the Lakers, and you know, he looks like he's gonna be a good player in the league. Even LeBron said stuff about him, and when LeBron compliments NBA players, you know that they're probably gonna end up turning out great. Now, what were the other awards I had? Let me say most improved player of the week, actually. Most improved player of the week, I really don't know. Maybe it should be most improved team of I don't know who would be for this week. I really gotta watch more NBA games, because I've been slacking off on watching NBA games. I've really been only watching the Raptors. I should be watching more NBA, but I'm busy with a bunch of other stuff. I'll try to watch more NBA games this week. For now, I'ma just say, who was the guy who was struggling last week? Who was doing good this week? I really don't know. Cade Cunningham, because he had his first game last night, and he didn't play the week before, so he went from 0 points a game to whatever points per game. There. It's gonna be better in the future weeks, trust me, but for now, there you have it. Moving on, we're gonna say the most improved team, the best team of the week. I'm gonna say team of the week, Toe, and then the other one was like some worst team of the week or something like that. But team of the week probably gonna go to the Heat. It's probably gonna go to the Heat because the Heat did really good. I'm proud of what the Heat did. I think they were playing well. Their defense was great. Their offense not great, but Jimmy Butler came in the clutch. So, you know, I'll say the Heat is a team of the week. And the most disappointing team of the week, maybe the Bucks, because the Bucks went on a 2-game losing streak, and that's not really good. So, you know, Bucks, that's my pick. And lastly, the player of the week, I have to give it to Jimmy Butler. I'm sorry. Jimmy Butler, I just saw what he was doing this week. Then again, Paul George could win it, so I might just have it tied between Jimmy Butler and Paul George. But what I saw with Jimmy Butler this week was amazing. His team was winning. They were doing amazing. So, in the end, I'm going to have to give it to Jimmy Buckets. And that's it for this video. This recap. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, comment down below tips, tricks, or topics you have me to talk about on this channel. I do kind of want to make a more in-depth NBA 75 list, but I don't know if I'm going to get the time to do that. Hopefully I will. So yeah, that'll be it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.